Whoo-wee! Send my boots and saddle to the barn, cowboys. Isn't that nice, huh? Got me a little fireplace, got me a little fire going in the fireplace, and also have what is called a cerveza, as in beer for me and you. Skull, brothers. Cheers. This is Beer 30 Sanity session on a cool day here in Fort Clark Springs, Texas. Not cold, about 52 degrees, a little humid, but one of those kind of days you get a little chill, you know what I mean? But here's to you, here's to you, here's to me. Skull. Muy bueno. I'm back in my tiny home for the 15th time, and I tell you, this moving back and forth wears me out. But I came over here this afternoon to do something, and I thought, that's a pretty neat little place. I think I'll sleep there tonight. So anyway, I'll show you what I've got. You'll like it. I mean, it's really cozy, man. It's just it's one living area here. There's my book stand. You've seen all this before, and there's the master bath, the only bath, and yeah, el toileto. I forgot how to use it, but there's some instructions on the lid. And anyway, yeah, but that's my new 40-inch TV and my sound bar and stuff. And there's where I sit and read my Kindle book. But yeah, so let's talk about tiny homes, I guess, for Beer 30 today and being cozy and comfortable. That little heater right there, that's one of those oil field things. I got it on low, and it does pretty good because I'm sitting right next to it when I'm sitting in that chair watching TV, and that works great. And I've got another Pelonis tower heater here. I've got three of them total, but that one's not plugged in. And but anyway, I'll show you. This one right here is not on right now because the temperature in here right now shows to be about what, 66, 65, 66 degrees. And that's not the correct time. It's actually 4 p.m. because I didn't turn the clock back, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But anyway, I've got this thing set on 63. I got the one in the bathroom, it's on a low setting, but it's turned down. It should cut off on its own in a minute. And then we go into the master suite here. And there's my little table. I don't have any pillowcases on my pillow. Why? Because I don't have any pillowcases. That's why. And this one in here I've got set on 60 right here. Another Pelonis tower heater. They have a remote. Oh, how neat too. On a cool night. And I also had, till I turned it off, but I had this, I've got this fan reversed, you know what I mean? And yeah, so that the hot air, as it accumulates up around the ceiling, and that's where it all goes because hot air rises and cold air sinks. And yeah, so yeah, I'll leave that on. And yeah, right now it's very comfortable in here. And I was surprised because, see, one of the things I thought that was going to be a big issue was cooling it or heating this place. And anyway, I got me another comforter. It's a white thing. And then I got a blanket here, a new one. Ooh, that thing is comfortable. You know what I mean? That means comfortable in English. So anyway, and then there's all my clothes and stuff. Beer 30, guys. Get down now. Relax. Chill out. If I could turn this thing around facing me, I would, and then I'd sit down. We'd chat a while. And but anyway, there's Romeo. And boy, that table needs to be cleaned, doesn't it? Well, the maid will take care of that, won't she? But anyway, I'm going to sit here and have me a toddy right now. But muy bueno, guys, muy bueno. It's nice and comfy in here. I even have a heater in the kitchen. I thought about putting that extra tower heater in here, the Pelonis, but this one right here has a little thermostat there, the little manual thermostat, and I can turn it down because I don't need this room very warm, and it shows to be 60 in here, which is fine if you're dressed for it, and it's nice. And then I got all my kitchen stuff ready to go, and there's my wine glass and the deal, and I got some wine down there, and I got some cerveza inside there. I got all my breakfast stuff up there, and so life ain't bad, guys. And also bought me a pizza. I'm going to test cooking that pizza in this oven. And I've already checked, and the oven is big enough to hold it, but I've never used it to cook a pizza. We're going to see if that works. And then there's my inventory of El Fudo, as in Ito Ito. And yeah, we're good to go there. But moving back and forth is a pain in the old arse. You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking I'll just stay here. I'll just stay in the house. And for the winter, and then use the RV like most people do, just whenever they get ready to take a trip. But yeah, so here's to you, here's to me. Isn't this wonderful though, man? I just think this is too damn cool, man. Well, I mean, cool in the sense of like neat, you know. And yeah, but I can turn these lights off. Watch this smoke. I'll turn the L light. You talk about cozy when you turn all the lights off. Yes. Turn this one off. Dink. Leave that one on in there. Is that cozy looking? Huh? I mean, when I lay down there to read with my wine and my snack, my evening snack, which tonight I'm trying something new. I mixed up some pinto beans and rice and cooked them in the instant pot, and it makes them real thick. Okay, but don't put too much rice or it'll be too damn thick. So, but yeah, but there's other ways to make it. There's my foot right in the video, but yeah, it makes it thick. But what you can do, and I've done it before, but it's been a long time ago. You can make what I call like bean tacos, but with the crispy tacos, get you a crispy taco, those little bags of them, and put you in some beans, but they got to be thick because if they're kind of runny, it doesn't work. But you get some thick ones, or you can use refried beans out of a can. That works just as good. And then put you some cheese on top of that. And if you've got a little onion or like onion powder or whatever it is, just a little on that. And then if you have, you can put a thin slice of jalapeno, but don't get too carried away with the jalapeno if you're going to eat it for an evening meal, or you might be up for a while. But and then put some. Did I say cheese? Yeah, I said cheese. And then I put lettuce and some of those canned roasted tomatoes with basil and garlic and stuff, but not much. Just a couple of pieces, maybe 3 or 4 pieces. And then I put the taco in the oven, or that thing I've got in there, that countertop oven, and yeah, melt the cheese, and yeah, and then with a little glass of wine. Oh, get down, home. Is this nice? You know what I mean? Me and old Romeo, dog. Dog, dog, dog. There's old Romeo. Woo, woo, woo. I talk to that damn dog. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, here's to you, here's to me. Skull, cheers. This is a sanity session, and I'm trying to bring you back to Mother Earth by showing you the wealth of here that I have. And yeah, it's wealth, my ass. I mean, this house costs less than a new pickup by far, and even with the new roof that I put on it. And it's so nice, it's 480 square feet, and it's taken me, well, it's be a full year in November, the first week or two of November that I've had this place, and I've lived in it, actually slept in it, maybe 2 months. Well, of course, I was gone for 5 months out to Capitan, so out of 7 months, I've been in here 2 months. But yeah, I thought, well, this. I was looking for something to do. I'm always looking for something to do, and that's what gets me into trouble. But is that cool or what? Huh? Shit, man, I could sit here and get plowed. You know what I mean? And not to say that I'm not, but who knows? So anyway, guys, life is what it is. What do y'all got to say? I would. Can you imagine if I did one of these live? Huh? Jesus Christ! I mean, the trolls would come out of the woodwork to take a shot at me. But Friday night, November the whatever it is, what is it? The November the. Let me see if I can figure this out. November. See, yesterday was the 17th. Tomorrow is the 19th. The day after that is the 20th. The day before, the one before is the 16th. So, it's the 18th of November, 2022. Isn't that wonderful? And we made it this far. Everybody that's watching this made it this far. Now, they may not make it another day, but they made it this far. Is that the coolest thing you've ever seen, though? Huh? God dang. I mean, when I discovered that you could put that on the screen of a TV here a year or two or three or four or five ago, whenever it was, yeah, that works too good. And tomorrow it's going to be like 8 or 10 degrees cooler down here in the southwest part of Texas. And yeah, this is like January, February weather for this part of Texas, no doubt. And I know some of you guys that live up in the northeast or whatever are going to getting a little snow and other places. And all I can tell you is lean back and have you a nice toddy. And I'll tell you what works, and you probably already know it. Remember the old Saint Bernard that had the big old jug around his neck filled with brandy? Well, there's a reason for that, because you drink a little brandy and I guarantee you, you will warm up. In fact, I think I've told this story maybe years ago, but I'll tell it again. It's a short one. Uh, I worked for a newspaper. The publisher was, he was, God, I don't know, he was in his 70s. I was in my 40s or whatever. But anyway, he came in my office. It was getting close to shutting her down time. And he came in. We were talking about a lot of things. And he said, "What you got going on this evening?" And I thought he might be fixing to ask me to come by his house for a drink. That happened occasionally, not often. But I said, "Well, I need to get home and feed my donkeys. I had two. I had a Jack, a Jenny, and a foal, a little one, and lived out in the country on. I had 6 acres with a house too big, but enough said about that. And so he said, "Man, it's cold outside." I said, "Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, that particular day, it was in January and it was like, 38, 39 degrees cold, kind of a misty, crappy day." He said, "Why don't you stop by the liquor store on the way home and get you a pint of brandy?" And he told me the name of some, and he said, "Yeah, just tell them." Yeah. And so they had a drive up window. I pulled up the drive up window on the way home, got me a pint of brandy. And anyway, I got home, and it was cold. I mean, it's damn cold. And to go feed the animals took about, well, to do it right and put water out and everything, about 20 minutes. Not long, but I usually stayed out there with them and scratched them, because if you scratch them just above the tail, they just love the shit out of that, you know what I mean? And behind the ear, they like that too. And so anyway, they were like, obviously they were like pets. So, but anyway, I got home and I was putting on my warm clothes, making the transition between a suit and tie to the farmer brown look. And I actually wore overalls. I love my overalls. And I might get another pair of those, come to think about it. They're damn comfortable, man. They got plenty of pockets, and once you've washed them a few times, they're pretty neat. What's that got to do with feeding the animals and brandy? I'm getting to it. I'm getting there. But at first, I got to take a swaller, SWALLER, of my BEER. So anyway, I got my overalls on, and I wasn't in any hurry really. So I didn't know how much, I didn't know how you drank brandy. I never drank any brandy in my life that I knew of. So I had just a little glass, not a shot glass, just a regular 8 ounce or 6 ounce drinking glass. And I thought, well, shit, I don't know. I smelled of it, it wasn't like 80 proof. It was, I don't know, it was less. It was brandy's a little less than whiskey, I think. Maybe it's more. I don't know. But anyway, I poured about half a glass, which is about 4 ounces or more. And anyway, I remember the old man told me, he said, be sure and take you a good slug before you go outside. So I did. I mean, I took me a slug, about half of that, and then I fooled around there and got my shoes on and stuff, got me some gloves, and anyway, I thought, well, I might go ahead and just knock that last swaller out, and then go outside. Well, I did, Mister. I could have gone outside naked. It wouldn't have made a damn bit of difference. I mean, I was toasted, man. I'm telling you what. I don't know. I don't want to know what it does to your liver, but what it does to your temperature, your body temperature, God Almighty, man, shit. I'm telling you, I see why that old Saint Bernard had that around his neck in Alaska or wherever it was, and yeah. But I don't know how many of you have ever drank brandy. After that, I got into something else. It was I know what it was. My father-in-law at that time, he drove a milk truck, a big long truck, a milk truck, one of those 18-wheeler types, and but he was kind of semi-retired, but he drove that every now and then because he'd been a truck driver. And anyway, he said, I mentioned to him about brandy, and he said he drank brandy, peach brandy. Well, mine wasn't peach or anything. I don't remember it had any. It just had a hell of a. It was. You could feel it when you swallowed it. Okay. Well, anyway, wasn't long before I was drinking peach brandy, but not often because I think if you drank enough of it, it'd go down your esophagus pretty good, and then later on it'd come out your nose. You know what I mean? No, that was a killer from Manila. You know, and uh, and another one I drank. I don't know why I'm on drinking now. I wonder why I'm on that. I can't imagine. Can you? But yeah, that was the story. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did remember to feed the donkeys. By the way, I'd get to the final part of that one, and yeah, from then on, I would drink the brandy, but much less. I mean, like maybe one shot, 1 ounce or 2 ounces, and that was it. Because no, that it was a little too powerful for Dad. But see, I grew up drinking beer. You know, I never did learn how to drink quote mixed drinks, and every time I did, I got plowed, or usually end up throwing up because I would drink it like uh, beer. You know, in fact, we used to every now and then we'd get how about rum and coke? Remember that when you were a kid? Good God Almighty, man, rum and coke. Yeah, I hear you. And next thing you know, I mean, talk about a sugar overload. Yeah, but rum and coke, and I remember there was a one called Champion Bourbon, which was cheap, and we used to get that when we could. And I don't remember us ever drinking vodka though. I don't remember vodka wasn't exactly in the queue. And this all started from talking about brandy to keep warm while I was feeding the animals. But yeah, that was those were crazy times, man. In fact, I'll tell you what we did one time, or I did. Uh, we were, I don't know what the deal was. It was a crazy night, Friday night or Saturday night or something, and we were drinking Slits. I think it was Slits, Schlitz, Slits malt liquor. Are you kidding me? You know, but I thought it was just like beer. You know what I mean? It never occurred to me that it was I don't know probably two times beer alcohol level. I don't know what it is or what it was, but all I know is I drank so much of it, and I wasn't very big, and I certainly didn't weigh very much, and it's all alcohol to body weight. But anyway, I remember, they always said you could drink till you went blind. Well, one of my eyes went out. That's no shit, man. I guess I could have drank myself to death, but I was, never mind, doing something stupid as a kid. So don't do this, kids. If there's any young people watching, don't do it. Okay? I mean, everything in moderation. That way your whole body can handle it. So having said that, guys, and reminisced about drinking brandy while watching a beautiful fire in a fireplace on my 40-inch Vizio TV, which unbelievably works now. And what is amazing, I couldn't get the speaker to work, right? Remember, I couldn't get the bar down there, the sound bar to work. Well, I hooked up an HDMI cable, and not only does the sound bar work, I can control it with the TV sound. Okay, the only sound I've got now comes through that sound bar, and I can raise it up and down using the thing here, this thing. You know what I mean? This thing here. Yeah. How about that? But the sound bar's got its own little controller. So I don't know what happened, but I ain't messing with it. I was afraid to turn it off the first time. But anyway, here this is old Rusty and Romeo and the goat here in my tiny home, and the temperature inside shows to be in this room with this fan on, which is keeping the air moving so that the heat doesn't just accumulate right up there. I've got it reversed, and in the same way in the bedroom. And yeah, I'm just sitting here just comfy as I can be. And this little thing right here on low, it puts out a lot of heat. You know what I mean? And so what I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to set the Pelonis over there, the tall one, on about 55 because it's got a digital deal that will go that low. And yeah, and we'll be good. And hell, I'm impressed with not only myself but the fact that this little home is not hard to heat. That was all in my MIND. You know what that is, don't you? That's what we're having a sanity session for. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday night, sanity session. Let me have another swaller of beer here. Muy bueno, hombres. Muy bueno. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your evening, relax, take a deep breath, Breathe out slowly. Let all that stress from 5 days of hard labor go away. And think about how good you're going to sleep tonight. Get you something you enjoy to eat and watch something interesting on TV and chill out. But thank you very much for watching, those of you both of you, all three of us. So having said that, guys, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Carpe diem means seize the day in Latin. Carpe diem, adios, bye bye. Buy anything you want if you think about it and want to do it. Use the Amazon link. If you don't want to fool with it, don't. Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, stand guard at the door of your mind. Woo, dog. You know what I mean? Try to keep out the negativity. We are surrounded by it 24 hours a day. So, having said that, guys, enjoy your Friday night. Got a good weekend coming up. Keep your health. Adios, amigos. Bye bye.